Imagine you buy a brand new computer, only for a software update to drop the very next day that makes your machine look obsolete instantly. In the world of artificial intelligence, that kind of rapid jump is happening constantly. In late 2023, the term frontier AI was mostly a quiet industry whisper. By 2026, it became the dominant conversation across the entire tech world. This term describes whichever AI system holds the top spot for capability at any given moment. It is a temporary title, a designation for the absolute smartest models we have built so far. Understanding this moving target is essential to seeing exactly where artificial intelligence is heading, rather than simply brushing it off as another corporate buzzword. To map AI's progression, we use three categories. At the base is narrow AI, built for one specific job, like spam filters. At the top is AGI, the unreached goal of matching human intelligence entirely. Bridging the gap is frontier AI. Sitting at the cutting edge, these systems master dozens of tasks simultaneously. While a narrow tool stops at its one assigned task, a frontier model can write, code, and reason through multiple complex topics in a single session. They are the most capable systems in existence, though they still have clear limits. If you look at the heavyweights holding the frontier title in 2026, you will see names like OpenAI's GPT-5, Anthropic's Claude Opus, and Google's Gemini Ultra. What separates these current champions from older software is the sheer volume of their training. They have read trillions of words, analyzed countless images, and processed complex data points across nearly every subject imaginable. This shows what happens to data at that scale. Instead of simply memorizing facts to repeat back later, the system learns how different ideas connect to one another. It develops the ability to reason through brand new problems. Reaching this level of intelligence requires an immense physical effort. Training a single model demands thousands of highly specialized computer chips running continuously for months at a time. Because they understand underlying patterns rather than reading from a rigid script, these systems gain the ability to use external software tools, remember the full context of a project, and plan out multiple steps ahead to reach a goal. Businesses are already pulling these models out of the testing phase and deploying them into real working environments. We are far past the days of clunky chatbots answering basic website questions. This visualization of market data represents what financial firms navigate daily. They deploy frontier AI to scan massive stacks of earnings reports, spotting market trends and flagging hidden risks faster than any human analyst team. In software engineering, these models can read and analyze entire, massive codebases. They locate buried logic errors and write the necessary fixes right on the spot. Legal departments use them to untangle thousands of pages of compliance regulations. Cybersecurity teams rely on them to analyze complex threat patterns and translate what happened during a breach into plain, understandable language. At CES 2026, NVIDIA CEO described his own company as a frontier AI model builder. That statement shows how this term is now standard vocabulary at the very highest levels of tech leadership. For a massive enterprise, the true value here is consolidation. A company can replace dozens of disconnected software tools with a single, highly capable intelligence system. However, adopting frontier AI comes with real financial and security hurdles. The most immediate and pressing risk is data privacy. Sending sensitive business metrics or private customer data out to a third-party AI provider creates compliance difficulties that many corporations are still struggling to navigate. This chart illustrates the financial reality. Connecting a massive AI model to legacy corporate systems requires an incredible amount of computing power. At a large scale, those computing costs increase significantly compared to running simple, narrow AI. To solve this, companies use a hybrid approach, setting up a central routing system to divide the daily workload. Routine tasks go to smaller, cheaper local models. Only the most complex, high-stakes problems are sent to the expensive frontier model. By splitting the work this way, businesses balance their need for capability with their strict security rules and operational budgets. As impressive as these systems are today, the frontier title is not permanent. The minute a lab releases a newer, more capable model, today's current champions lose their status, and the frontier moves forward again. Because of their power, every major developer puts these systems through rigorous safety protocols, running deep internal stress tests and external audits to find weaknesses before they are released. Researchers are constantly testing how close these systems can get to AGI, the point where machines perform every human task equally well. Each new model brings us closer to answering if that level of intelligence is actually possible. Whether you are running a business or managing your own career, understanding the limits and capabilities of frontier AI today determines who is best prepared for whatever comes next.